thought 4.
No, I think it was last time. I don't know. Don't ask me.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Knitting Place podcast.
Episode 20 something.
I'm going to find out.
We're not sure. Anyway, we hope you're all doing well. And you're having a great week.
Tell them who you are. Yes, absolutely.
Who am I? I am Pam Sapienza on Facebook and Ravelry, and Pam Sap on Instagram. And Dina is...
I'm Dina. You can find me at the Knitting Place on Instagram, Ravelry, and Facebook.
Good. There you go.
It's podcast number 204.
It is 204.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you for tuning in. If you're rejoining us, welcome back. If you're new to our station, welcome. We basically cover knitting and crocheting.
Crafting.
But
basically knitting.
Knitting and crocheting. Yeah. We like to review what we have finished. We like to talk about our whips.
We like to talk about things we'd like to knit.
Our wish list.
Exactly.
And we like to talk about life.
Exactly.
As it stands.
So what's going on with you, Dina?
What's going on with you?
No, you tell me. I asked you first. How was your weekend?
My weekend was good. I've had a revelation.
What was that?
So, did I discuss this with you about Shabbat dinner? I'm going to get closer.
What about it?
I have a beef.
About Shabbat dinner?
Yes.
No, I don't think you did. Something recent?
Yes.
No.
So what's been happening is the kids have their own chat group.
Okay.
Amongst themselves. Mm-hmm. And they're like in cahoots.
Mm-hmm.
Are you all going to Shabbat dinner?
Right.
And if they all come, like it's all for one and one,
so
but
in
none
other words,
for all.
So they'll all come together and none of them will come.
Right.
So if 2 of them aren't going, the other 2 won't go.
Correct.
How do you know that?
Well, that's like the vibe because it happened last week.
Right over the other side. There you go.
It happened last week. Sorry,
but how do you know? But you know that's what. How do you know that's what they do?
Because I spoke to Sophie about it.
Okay.
Sorry, Soph, I'm ratting
Sophie
you
was
out.
the rat. She's the rat that ate the cheese.
She thought that, everyone was coming, and then it turned out that Danielle was going away and Jake and Roche weren't going to be there. So she's like, well, I feel like I'm missing out with my friends. I'm like, well, we do Shabbat dinner.
Yeah. Well,
so then I said, I need to have a family meeting and discuss this because it's hard. It's a growing pain, like I get it. The kids have moved out. They've moved on, but I still want to somehow see them. And I understand that Friday night.
It's a weekend, yeah.
It's a weekend night. It's coming from, the city. It's a reverse, it's a commute.
Well, I think the thing is your son, it's hard it's getting more difficult for him because, he's
100%.
married and there's 2 sides of the family. But yet for the kids, it's Friday night and they want to do something.
Which I totally get.
Right.
So what my thought is let's meet maybe Saturday for brunch. Or maybe do a Sunday night dinner.
Well, maybe maybe they don't want to do it every week.
Exactly.
Right. Then you say
so
maybe do it
twice a month.
The first and third, or if you want to do that, because
I don't mind setting a schedule, but I feel like I don't know if it'll always be followed. This is what these are.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my whole thing is it doesn't necessarily have to be every week.
No.
If we could pick 2 times a month to meet, I would be totally content.
Right.
Now, in addition...
Although I don't understand why it has to be all or none. I mean, you have 4 kids. It's very hard. I mean, I would think, I know with my kids, I could never get 4 of them all together twice a month for a dinner. I couldn't do it.
There's no way.
No,
which is what I said to the kids.
The older they get, the harder it becomes.
So I said to Sophie, Sophie's got 4, she's one of 4 roommates. Mm-hmm. And I said, look, if your siblings don't come or whatever, then invite your roommates and all come over for dinner. Home cooked meal.
Right. They don't want to do that, though.
So basically, now I'm going to come full circle. How was my weekend? Saturday, I went to the city to see Sophie.
Right.
Danielle made the trip from Brooklyn to Sophie's apartment. Yeah. We hadn't seen her in a couple of weeks.
Right.
Came home. And Sunday, we went to see Jake and Roche. So we've been going back to the city.
Well, you know why now? I'll tell you what happens. It's easier for you and your husband to go and visit them.
It's easier for them. It's not necessarily easier for me.
Well, that's because you're bringing the dog with you.
It's not just that.
Well,
I work
yeah, but if you want to see them, my point is, if you want to see them,
I have to, it's on me.
Correct. That's been,
Speaking
I find
of-
that to be my.
Speaking of, because of this situation, I'm no longer here on Wednesdays. I'm taking Wednesdays off, and I'm back to working on Fridays. So the new store hours are Tuesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yep.
Why, might you ask me?
Yeah, why might I ask
I
you?
was feeling FOMO because the kids, now that they all work in the city, they'd be meeting for lunch on a Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
And I'm stuck here on Long Island, and I can't
Who
join
are
them.
they all meet each other for lunch on a Wednesday? You kids? Yeah, but do they? Well, I hate to say this, Dina, and don't take this the wrong way.
I'm with my husband.
Oh, they meet with your husband. I was
Yes.
going to say, do they want you to come?
Yes. Nice try.
There you go.
So
Listen, I understand what you're saying, but I think the older they get, the more difficult it is.
I get it, which is
And
why
you only have one married child, so you know it might be one Friday night dinner a month that you might end up all doing together, and on the other weeks it might just be one of them or two of them or none of them. You know,
Listen, I'm totally accepting the fact that they're out of the house.
Right.
Like, I get it, but the reason I'm laughing is because I mentioned this. Like, I think it might have been after our last podcast that this happened, and I was venting. I think it was to Joan, who had come in, or maybe
Rubin?
yes, and she's like, Dinah, whatever you do, don't open your mouth. She's like, and forget it, like just let it go.
That's why I say,
And it's not that I have a problem with that. I don't feel like I should be tiptoeing if I have feelings about this.
well,
I
no,
should
you
be
can
able to
certainly say,
share.
of course you can, but you have to realize.
Be delicate? Like,
No.
Did I
mean,
say
I
it
don't
in
think
an
you have to be
offensive
delicate,
way?
but I think you have to realize that they're going to do what they're going to do.
100%.
As long as you're
I
okay
understand
with
that they are.
Right.
But I feel like, I
don't-
think for them,
You don't want them to feel like they're going to come home because mom wants us to come home.
No.
That's like I'd rather they not come personally. Me,
Yeah, I don't need a
myself.
favor.
Yeah, right, exactly.
need to cook every Friday.
That's why
It's okay.
exactly. That's why I
Don't do
say,
me
like, if
favors.
I want to see Daniel, not most of the times, it depends what the situation is. He's not, Andrew and I could hop in the car and go. He doesn't have a car. It's easier for us to go, just drive in to
Right.
see him. Not that that's hard for him to come out, but, when he comes out here, what's he going to do?
Right. No, it's rough.
So, I don't know.
Hold on, I just have to turn off my notifications.
But that's it. Listen, that's part of the kids, like you say, the growing pains with the kids,
Oh my goodness.
growing up and whatnot. So that was your weekend. Dan was in the city
I was
twice.
spreading myself thin.
But you were both times with Sophie?
No. We saw,
Sophie on Saturday.
so Zach is at home, so we see Zach, granted. It was Sophie and Danielle and Isaac on Saturday because Sophie had everyone come over.
Right.
And then yesterday it was just
it was Jake.
Jake and Rochelle.
So who didn't you see? Oh, yeah. Well, Zach's at
everyone.
home. Everyone, but Zach's at home. I got you.
I just didn't see them all together.
And listen, if Zach is at home, he probably feels like, well, I don't want to get stuck with Friday night dinner every night
doesn't.
myself with mom
He
and dad,
doesn't.
or mom, dad, and Safta,
and
whatever it is.
rightfully so.
Yeah. Well, listen, that's, this is it's all part of the
It's like everything's shifting.
the family reorganization,
Right.
so to speak, right?
Totally.
What are
And
you
it's
gonna do?
funny when you go through it, you like realize how your mom was feeling,
Right.
your parents were feeling, how you're in. Like, I can almost commiserate with my mom because
Right.
always with my husband.
Well, we've had
goodness.
this conversation before, and
You know
I would
that.
always say to you that I would rather be like your mom. I don't want to be the one, If do what you're going to do. You know what?
Yes,
I'm
but
here. If
so-
you're going to come, you're going to come.
Okay.
If I'm going to go, I'll call you and say I'm going to go.
So I agree with you, but you know what? Like now, like move forward. When I look back at my mom and my mother-in-law,
Right.
the way they've like the two paths that they've taken. Yes, one dominated because my mother-in-law's like
Well,
every weekend.
there usually is a stronger one, and the other one kind of acquiesces.
But the one
to-
who's complacent, like you miss out.
right.
So
Well,
I don't
she
want to
misses
miss out.
Well,
I just want to.
Yeah, she misses out, but maybe sometimes to her, she's picking. Maybe that's not comfortable for her. But unfortunately, there's maybe a loss that comes with it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you just don't. I had a mother-in-law like that too. Very strong-willed. Very strong-willed.
I just.
And when you're newly
and
married
I don't want to
and
be
you're
that
younger,
mother-in-law.
you tend to go along with that. My parents were very easygoing, very easygoing. And so it was not like, you have to come. My mother would never do that. My parents would never do that, you know. That wasn't their nature. So, of course, if you have that situation, it's like your situation, the dominant personality tends to win out more often than not. Yeah, but then you reach a point. You know, my husband even said years later, he said, he should have said something sooner.
Right.
He always had the thing. It's always easier to go along. It's easier to go along. It took him about 15 years to realize that wasn't necessarily what he should have been doing.
Right. Well, so it's funny. So now let's talk about what book I'm reading.
Yeah.
I downloaded a new one. It's called The 5 a.m. Club. Okay. Have you heard about it?
No.
I'm literally in the opening credits. Just beginning. So I passed out last night, and the premise is that you wake up at 5 o'clock every day, and it's supposed to be life changing. I've yet to, so I downloaded the book.
Well, do you have to get up at 5 a.m.?
I set the alarm for 5 a.m.
Why do you have to get up at 5 a.m.?
I've yet to discover that.
No. But that's part of the premise of the book. If you're reading it, you need to wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't wake up at 5 a.m. and read it?
I'll tell you.
I don't understand that. Okay, go ahead.
So we're up to the philosophy. And one of the things is like, if you don't put yourself out there.
Is it a self-help book? Or is it I thought it was a fiction book.
No.
Oh, so okay. Well, that makes sense.
Let me know if you guys read it or or listened to it.
Who recommended that to you?
You know what? No one. I saw Gwyneth Paltrow talk about it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try that. So I'm just
So exploring. I interrupted you.
No, that's okay.
The premise is what you were starting to say. What the premise is.
So the philosophy is like one of the keynotes that I took from one of the philosophy chapter is that you have to you have to be uncomfortable. Like you can't always be comfortable.
Well, that's what they say.
And in life,
right? If comes when you put yourself in an uncomfortable.
Correct.
What would be uncomfortable for you?
Even is it Brene Brown with vulnerability? If you're not vulnerable, you can't grow. So it's kind of like the same thing.
Right.
But then, so I'm listening to this because Alice is sleeping. It's 5 a.m. I ended up falling asleep on the audiobook.
You're falling asleep on the audiobook.
Fell back asleep. So now I have to rewind.
You have to rewind.
I woke up at 8.
You have to go to bed earlier. Yeah, that's early for you. But then
I went to bed at 10.
How long is each thing that you're reading every day? How long are you reading for?
I'm going to listen, let's say, for 20 minutes, a half hour in bed.
But see, Dina could go back to sleep after that.
Not terrible.
Yeah, I could never do that.
It's supposed to be up, though. The whole thing is that, so I was reading that with the premise is also like in the first hour that you're up, there's 20 minutes, I don't remember now, maybe meditation, 20 minutes you read, 20 minutes you exercise, I don't know. It's like 20-20-20. But I was just like skimming when I went to download the book.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm a work in progress. You know how
I
like
understand what they're saying, but I don't know why it could be 5 a.m.
I don't know.
If 5 a.m. isn't a time for you, maybe 7 a.m. is a better time for you. Doesn't mean everybody's on the same schedule.
So you want to know what prompted me to do this now?
Because you want to get up early?
No. Because I'm so annoyed with my knitting. You know how I was telling you how...
You're so funny.
No, I'm going to tell you. Alice is always like...
Don't knit.
He's like, oh, you want to knit? Just ask for it. Like, ask for the time to knit.
You have to ask for time to knit?
Meaning, like, if it's interfering in our day. Okay? I like to knit in the morning.
What do you mean you have to ask for it? What does he mean by that?
Meaning, like, if I was annoyed.
Give me a for instance.
For instance is, this is my Tursa, everyone. It needed to be done on a deadline. And here I am always saying, I have a deadline, I have a deadline. He's like, well, you don't ask for time to knit. So, okay, that's a constructive criticism. I might not say, hey, look, I need an hour to knit because I need an hour a day to get this deadline done. That could be on me. But
life isn't always that black and white.
It's not always perfect. So what'll happen is he'll say, oh, let's go here for the day. And then I'll obviously want to go on an outing, then sit home and knit. So when I knit in the morning, he'll say, let's go work out. Let's go on a walk. It's been really nice out, right?
Yeah.
So we've been trying to do stuff with Bear while the weather is permitting. There's been things that have shifted where I haven't been able to do what I'm doing. We had that
when you say
tragedy
you mean knit?
in Maryland.
Right. But you mean knit. You're talking about knit.
I'm talking about knitting.
Okay.
And it could apply to anything.
Right. But for
but
you,
for
you're
me,
talking about
at
knitting.
this point, I'm talking about knitting.
Gotcha.
So the spark was, let me just get up at 5, because then I have uninterrupted, that's me time. No one is going to bother me. I don't have to walk the dog. I don't have to.
I understand that. But now, and you're getting up and you're doing whatever this is, like a meditation, a reading, an exercise. It's like I don't want to say self-help because that sounds crazy. It's more of a personal growth kind of thing, maybe, right?
Yeah.
But it's not your knitting time.
Well, I'm listening and knitting at the same time.
Yeah, but didn't you say you have to exercise or you have to do something?
No, well, I don't know. I didn't get into it.
Yeah, see, I'm just saying, if you want to have some time to knit, that's your time. Just get up and do it.
Right.
I mean, you're listening to this. I can understand listening to a book. But...
Yeah, I'm listening to it to see, how else I'm going to grow from it.
Okay, well, that's true.
That's two separate things.
Yeah.
But I am getting up early so that I could knit uninterrupted and just have peace. I don't want to feel guilt-ridden every time I go to knit. I want to enjoy it. I enjoy knitting.
You shouldn't feel guilt-ridden when you want to knit.
And listening
you should be able
to
to
my
knit
book,
whenever you want to.
When he was away, I was I got up every morning, I knit, I listened to my book. Not that, God forbid, I love when he's around and all of that.
Yeah, but you had more.
I had more time. I'm finding that I don't have the time.
Well, you got to have a negotiation. I mean, I guess part of it is too that if he says let's go, blah blah blah. If you really want to go and you're torn. I'd like to knit, but I would like to go. That's on you then. That's a different thing. You have to make that choice. If you said, if you really if you weren't that interested in going, or if you were, about it, you could say, you know what, I'd love to go, or it would be a nice thing to go, but what I really want to do right now is I want to get this done. Right. And that would be advocating for yourself. But my point is, if you're in a situation where you really want to do that thing, and you really want to knit, if they're
I have to give something up.
Things, something's got to go.
Something's got to give. Fair.
So
we went to the city yesterday. We have the dog. We're taking him on the train.
Yeah, sure.
He didn't want to drive.
You took him on the train. That's so funny.
He loves to drive his car. He doesn't drive all week because he takes the train. So on the weekends, I'm like, okay, let's just drive into the city. The kids asked us to stop and pick something up.
It's easier that way too.
So I figured it's in Springfield.
Right.
Okay, on the way to Manhattan.
Right.
I'm like, of course we'll pick it up on the way, no problem. Right. And he's like, well, I don't want to drive.
All of a sudden you didn't want to drive. So you took the train.
So he took the train. But in the car, that's my knitting time. It's found knitting time. When we're traveling on the train, it might be 10 minutes. What do I get done? It's more of a nuisance to carry all my knitting for that. Right. But in the car, you leave the bag in the car.
Right.
So he's like, all of a sudden, he doesn't want to do that. And I'm like, what do you mean? All of a sudden you're changing, how you are? And he's like, Dina. He goes, life is short. He goes, I'm almost 60. Everything's about being 60 all of a sudden. Life is short. He goes, I need to make the most of my time. So now he's annoyed that I'm knitting in the car, but he's not reading. Okay? So I think that every time he sees me knit, he needs to have equal time to himself. Oh my goodness, I can't keep up.
You've got too much going on there. I don't have to worry about those things.
It's like a web.
I don't have to worry about that. Yeah.
Do you see this?
Yeah, it's too complicated for me. Honestly, I don't know how you get any knitting done. That would just make me not even want to knit. That would make me not want to knit.
Thank you. So now I'm waking up at 5. I went to bed
which is so not like you.
I know.
To get up that early.
No.
No, I don't think that. Honestly, I don't think this is going to be a lasting.
It's not going to last, but whatever, we'll see. I'm going to read the book.
Listen,
and take
when
a leap
my
of
kids
faith.
were younger, I'd get up at 6. I would make their lunches, and they would then come down and they would leave.
Did you go back to bed?
No, I never went. I can never go back to bed once I'm up. And I would sit down. It might be a quarter. Well, I'm trying to think what time they left. Usually it was more depending on how old they were too. But I was thinking 7:15 or 7:30.
Were you working at the time?
If I was working here, I wasn't working that early. No, I wasn't working at that time. I was working here, but I didn't have to be here that early.
Wait, you were making lunch for the kids and you were working here? No, the kids were out of the house already. We got you from Michael's.
No. I mean, when I would. Well, my kids never bought lunch. They never had that thing to buy lunch.
No, they were out of the house, though.
No, Daniel was still young when I was working here. No, I wasn't working here at the time. When Daniel was younger, I remember I made him that shawl sweater. I wasn't working then. That was like in like 1998. I wasn't working here then. But at that point, I would make lunches.
Okay.
For whomever was involved, and then I would sit down and knit after they left. I'd have a cup of coffee. I'd sit in the kitchen, depending on what was going on.
So have that luxury.
And I would do that back then, I didn't spend my day sitting knitting, and then I would knit again, later in the day at night or something if I wanted to. That's before I was
today?
working. But when I was working, I started working here what year? I started working in, Emily was in, I have to go back now that things are, when Emily went to college is when I started working, I think. Mm-hmm. When Emily went into college, and she was 18. That would have been 2004. But if Emily was, then I had 14, 16. I had still had a 12-year-old. I don't know if I was making lunches for him at that point. He might have been in middle school. I wasn't making lunch. Or maybe I was. I don't know.
I think he was in high school.
No, he was 12. He's not in high school at 12.
No, but that's
I don't know. 7th, 8th grade.
Maybe.
Whatever. But it doesn't make a difference. The point is, that was my time. But, now, I'm more of my own problem with knitting because I have to get things done before I can sit and knit.
Well, so my point, I'm cooking, I'm walking the dog. Right. There's always something. It's not like I have that much time.
Right.
And I don't knit at night. I'm just too exhausted.
Right. Most of the times that is.
Okay. Enough about me, my trials and tribulations. But if you have any experience, let me know about the kids and about the 5 a.m. club.
Yeah, well, listen, someone might tell you about the book. I don't know.
That'd be fun.
I'm sure someone's read it or whatever. Good.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then I want to listen to another book, but that's not a self-help book.
Well, that's more interesting. Now, that I could see, listening to a book and doing your morning reading.
Right, the stationery shop. Right. Same author.
And, when you do those books that are like, whatever, personal growth, you have to be in the mood to do them.
It's so funny because at 5 a.m. I was like, stop, play, rewind, stop, play.
Because you were still tired.
I was not awake yet. I didn't have coffee. I couldn't focus.
Yeah, you see, Dina can go back to sleep.
So funny.
Like when she said, did you go back to bed? I would never go back to bed. Once I'm up, I'm up. Even when I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, it's like I have to say, okay, I have to go back to sleep now. Because I could easily stay up, but then you're exhausted the next day.
I'll wake up to go to the bathroom. Every time I'm up, I feel like Ellis is awake on his iPhone.
Really?
I don't engage with him.
Really?
He's like got in his night mode.
Doesn't he get tired?
He's reading to fall asleep, and I'm like,
what's he
doing?
Reading? You have no idea.
New York Times, the news, he was answering emails across the country. Oh,
that's crazy.
That's nuts.
I tell you, I look at these phones, I wonder, what's going to become of us.
That was another thing.
Yeah, there's just too much.
Speaking
too
of
much
philosophy,
with the phones
they were talking about like what a waste of time.
It is a waste of time. That's
like,
what
he joked, like, how many times, like, why do you need to watch what people are eating for breakfast? Why do you need to watch this? Why do you need to watch? And it's true.
He says that to you
in the book. Like,
in the book says that.
The technology,
it's
all
true.
the lost time in a phone.
I was too. This was yesterday. I said, "No, why?"
Between the TikTok,
I said to him, "Why are you doing that?" He said, "Well," he said, "I open my phone and I see it says, blah blah blah." And I said, "But who cares?" I said, "You have to know that the answer to that right now." Like, I had opened my phone and he said it was said. What was it? Who was the celebrity? It'll come to me in a second. It was a woman, but it was something about. Maybe it was Demi Lovato and someone and her niece's, her cousin or her niece's baby died or something. Maybe it wasn't Demi. I don't know who it was. And I said, who cares? And not that who cares, but you're going to stop now and go. But my husband has that kind of personality. It's a very compulsive personality. And then he'll start
get
scrolling.
To the end of the story.
I just said to him, when did you get so addicted to your phone?
Is this a new thing?
I think,
since he got
fairly recently. No, well, not recently. Could be the past year or something. I don't know. But, he has an addictive personality. So, and it's not so much that he'll go and do it, but once he picks it up and he looks at it, well, there's always something else to look at.
Right.
And there's always something else to look at.
Well, that's the compulsion, right?
It's
like it takes...
If you're a bit of a compulsive personality,
right,
that's like the worst thing.
Yeah. It's like... I always tell
have some discipline.
Charge the phone and keep it out of the room.
It doesn't even belong in the room.
Not if you keep picking it up.
Right, exactly. So
Do you
now
struggle
that
at
we talked
night?
about that. We're talking about knitting today, Dina.
Yes.
What are you wearing, Dina?
I am wearing an FO. This is my Tursa. It is designed by Natasja Hornby.
Stand up, let them see it.
And you're not really going to see it, unfortunately. But here it is in its glory.
Stand up on the chair.
Are you kidding?
Oh, you can't on that chair. See, there it is. We can see the bottom.
Ta-da!
You can see it. Now, Dina, as she said to me before.
More than fingertip.
It's more than fingertip, yeah. She hasn't wet. Did you talk about, when you said blocking, did you mean steam block or wet block?
I didn't wet block it yet.
Are you going to wet block it?
Yes.
Did you steam it?
I steamed
You
it,
did,
yeah.
okay.
It's got like a nice halo to it. Let's see if I get close to this. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
So cozy. I do have to say, I knit the second size. You all know that. You all know that I added 2 repeats to each arm. So I have like the sleeve length.
What's a repeat?
Repeat is a diamond and a diamond.
So the sleeve would have ended there, and the ribbing would have. So maybe it would have ended
Correct.
here, the sleeve instead.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But everything else you followed.
yes. But that being said, when I made the kits, and this is why I always hesitate making kits before I finish the FO, I ended up needing another skein of the main color in both yarns. Le Petit lamb's wool and the mohair.
That went with it.
Right. So I think the instructions originally called for 3 of each.
And you used 4 of each.
I did go into the 4th.
Well, you also did the sleeve.
I did the sleeve.
Well, that color wasn't. Oh, yes, it is in there. Yeah,
Yes.
it is in there. Question.
So, yep.
What's left of that color? How much of the skein did you go into, the 4th skein?
I didn't weigh it, but in the mohair for sure, because the mohair has less yardage. It was a Rowan kid silk mohair. And in the lamb's wool, maybe 10%, not a yard like the other colors.
So that's probably why it's the sleeve. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now, I don't know if I have to measure to see if I went the length that I wanted it for me. I'm kind of short. I'm 5'2".
But did you do the length? Did you change
So she
it
says
from
to
what
go
she
to 30 inches. I may have not gone as long. I have to measure to see.
Then
if
you
it's
certainly
actually,
would have needed
Then you would
that,
definitely
yeah.
need. I would have definitely needed it.
Okay,
exactly.
good. That makes sense.
So that being said, if you are one of those people who pre-ordered a kit and we ship to you and you need more yarn, please contact me right away.
Did you put that yarn in it?
Well, yeah, it's the
did.
main color, but you might need an additional skein.
You didn't put that additional skein in the kit.
I didn't know if I would have needed. I didn't know until
I thought you said you.
This was a large border, so I didn't know. I had to join the yarns in the border.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
there you go.
I'm expecting a delivery from Bichet Bouche. It should be in
That
maybe
was
tomorrow.
the petite lamb's wool?
Yes. I know a lot of you have sent me emails and phone calls and text messages and DMs that you're all waiting for Tursa. When the yarn does come in, I have to allocate to see how many. Now that I know that it takes 4 skeins, not 3, it's going to shift things, and I will get to the people in the order that they reached out to me. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, the people that purchase the kit, I will also contact you and ask you if you need additional yarn. 1 FO. How about you?
I have an FO.
You do.
Well, I was there. I don't know.
It's here. It's here.
Is it there?
Yes.
I finished the vest. I'm not wearing it because I wasn't wearing the appropriate outfit today, so I didn't put it on.
It is gorgeous, Pam.
I did not wet block it. I steamed it. I will not wet block it until I wear it. It is, I did make it longer than she said, and that's what I wanted. You know, I didn't want it, for me,
gorgeous.
I didn't want it cropped. So that's it. And that's the crocheted edging.
The Melina top.
Yeah, the Melina, Melina top by, I can't tell you.
Larami loops.
Thank you, Larami loops. That's her name. Her knitting name, so to speak, right? That's not her real name.
Right. It's the company name, I guess?
Yes, if you want to put it that way. And I used double Sunday. I think I used 5 skeins. 5 skeins.
It didn't take a lot at all.
1, 2... I think I used 5 or 6. I'd have to weigh it. I'll put it in my page. And I did the crochet edging. And that's it. I was even thinking today, you could even just take the stitch if you wanted to. You can make a scarf out of that
100%.
stitch. Wouldn't that be lovely?
It's so funny because when you hold it up and you look at it, it looks like it's a vertical stitch. It's so interesting that it was worked horizontally.
Yeah. So anyway, so
like
that's my Melina top. It's done. I will wear it at some point when I have the appropriate.
Yeah. So now that I've shown this
outfit to wear with it,
I'm going to take it off since I'm hot.
And there are no kits for it. It's only double Sunday. I will add on to that she used a sport weight cotton. I had a sport weight cotton at home, and I wasn't thrilled with it. So I just, sometimes you look at a yarn and you can envision it. I thought that it would be. So I said, let me try the double Sunday. But I did make sure that because I was using, which is the DK weight, that when I chose my size and I did not the cast on the chain, and I began the first few rows, I measured it to make sure it was the size it was supposed to be. And that the gauge was right.
Right.
So I did do that.
Nice.
And that's that.
Another FO.
Ooh,
I finished Ribbon Welt. I have to block this too. So it probably might open up a little bit.
You did the smaller size of the two.
This is the smaller size.
2 skeins of cashmere.
2 skeins. And you could see it is really, it's tiny. Like,
but you haven't finished. You should block it.
I will definitely block it.
Yeah, you should definitely block that.
But
it's 2 skeins of this Bespoke DK cashmere.
This is designed by SweaterFreak.
Great.
Thank you, Jenny. Jenny is right now, I think did she release, is it the 3rd or 4th clue?
I think it's done.
It's done. So she just released the final clue.
Maybe it's not done. I don't know. The 20. When did it start? The 17th, the 21st, the 20. Maybe it's not done.
One more?
Were there 3 clues or 4 clues?
I want to say, I think it was 4.
I thought it would be done by the end of October, I think. Maybe it'll be later this week it's done.
No Rhinebeck, no problem, is the name of the knit along and her pattern. And the last clue is due to be released on October 28th. So there's one more clue.
That's a
couple of days.
That's today.
Oh, there you go.
I had a feeling it was today. That's today. So today was her last clue dropped. Is there any, what does it look like?
What?
Are there any pictures of it, the people posted?
The final reveal?
Mm-hmm.
The final reveal is November 4th. So maybe
There's no spoiler? There has to be a spoiler.
I don't know that we should show.
Well, I want to see it.
Oh my goodness.
I have to show you something, Diana. I took a picture when we had knitting on Thursday night.
I was going to say, this is the spoiler for the rib welt.
Well,
in case you haven't seen it.
Not a secret, though, right?
No, we don't want to spoil it for the people.
I had knitting the other night.
So thank you. This is a beautiful design. I do need to wet block it, and, this will open up the ribbing on this side. As you can see, the tension is different here. Fun knit. I'm deciding on whether or not I want to make this for the girls. I think I do.
It's a lot of knitting. You're not going to finish it by the holidays. I don't think.
So what?
Well, it's okay, as long as you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Hold on. What am I looking for? I know I took
something
a picture.
From...
This is from Anne.
Isn't that gorgeous? Is it Pines and Needles now?
Oh, is that what it's called now? I didn't know that. So. It's the second one, That's the second one.
You got to show them. It's gorgeous.
This is a cowl from SweaterFreak. It's the Pines and Needle.
I'm going to check.
Pines and it used to be PINUS, but now I think it's Pines and Needles. And interestingly, she has a matching shawl.
It's Pines and Needles shawl.
And the shawl, as a matter of fact, she just had on her Instagram, was featured in a magazine.
Pining for Pines
It's a mosaic print. It takes 2 skeins of Clinton Hill cashmere. And I believe it's
you're right.
I believe it's DK. Yeah, Pinus. And
gorgeous.
You see, she cast on in this particular one with the onyx. I think that's the onyx. Mm-hmm. And the other color is cognac. It's the cognac color.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And if Dina holds it up, you'll see one color is the cast on rib and one is the cast off rib.
Right.
Isn't that nice? Love that cowl. So this is her second one. And what Anne did, because she tends to be a tighter knitter, is she went
it's gorgeous
on a larger needle. And I have to say, it's gorgeous. It bloomed on the bigger needle. She went on an 8. I think she knitted on a 6 or something.
So do you think the cashmere blooms on a larger needle?
Well, it wasn't. Well, I will tell you, I think so because we had another one there that was tighter, and it blooms. It does bloom. But I mean, everything's. I always say you can use a bigger needle. It doesn't make a difference as long as it looks good.
Right.
You know, sometimes you can go to a large. I'm looking for the other one.
Well, while she's looking, I'm going to show you my whip.
Let's see if I took a picture of it.
I now have one whip in my bag, which means I should bring out a languishing whip to join this whip.
Did you bring one?
I brought one, but it's not, I didn't do anything with it. This is my Tanne top.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see that I got one sleeve almost done. I'm up to the ribbing. And I've worked a little bit on the body, but I still have a ways to go. So it didn't get that much done. I was really busy with my...
You were trying to get the other thing done, yeah.
I was busy with my Tursa.
Understandably so.
So that is the progress.
Here it is. That's the one. Sand, and I think the
beautiful.
The color you're doing now.
Uh-huh.
So there it is now.
Cocoa.
And this is the other one. This is... You tell me. And that's the other one like that.
It's gorgeous.
This is it in the pink and the gray. Beautiful. Both of them are beautiful. Beautiful. Anyway.
Is that Lynn's?
That's Lynn's.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that was lovely. I did not work on my Tanne. And the only other thing I did, which Dina has to try on, is that hat.
Oh.
the test one.
Dropped something. I don't know
I
what
picked it. Was this? Oh, did you drop it?
No, I think you dropped something.
Oh, no, I think this went on my lap.
Maybe.
Try this. Hold on, let me get the yarn off of it. Because I'm not going to do the decrease, the top. Because the top doesn't have a long...
I want it to be off-center, though.
Yeah, right. No, that's centered. You know, it's funny. I was doing the same thing today with my hat yesterday.
So funny.
I know. I think it's just...
There we go.
There we go. Let me see you.
Are you slouching it? Oh, wait, it's not really on my ears, though.
Yeah.
Okay, now
I still think I have more to do because it's only about... There's not that
Feels
many
nice.
rows. If I did it now, it would be a tight fit.
It feels nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I still have a little bit more to do, I think.
I like it. Are you going to make it slouch or not?
Yeah, look at the yarn I have.
You have.
I think I'm good. I might as well just do some more. Okay. Thank you, Dina.
You're welcome.
And I have, as I said, I didn't work on... Yeah, what is that? It's a needle. See? I didn't work on my Tanne. And what I did do a few rows on... Yeah, what is that down there, Dina? My needle.
Look at all the popcorn. We had popcorn earlier. Popcorn. Half of it's on the floor.
Yeah. We'll pick that up after.
Yep.
But anyway, I did do a few rows, although I didn't bring it with me, on my Musselburgh.
Fun.
And that is it for me right now.
So, we kind of have a lot to share.
Do we?
Why
don't we do the kit you did last week?
Okay.
What is that called?
It's called Allusion. I believe the picture's on the table. The designer, and shame on me, I think I've already forgotten it. I want to say is... Hold on. I don't want to say. I got the last name right. Is it Terry? Yes. Okay. Terry.
Fabbi Designs, it says.
Yes, it's Abbi Fabbi Designs, but the designer is Terry Bienvenue.
Where are the kids?
And this is the pretty shawl. And, you know, it's funny. Here's a picture of it. It's kind of hard because it's photographed dark. I don't know if you'll get to see it as well on screen, but I'll show it to you here. There it is. But when you have it worn and wrapped around you, it's just really pretty. I'm going to go to the projects page and you will have an idea of what it looks like because one of her testers is wrapped in it and it looks just so scrumptious. Here is the wingspan. It should be about 72 inches long. There it is wrapped. Love it. And it kind of has this rouged, it isn't rouged, but somehow it has the vibe that it's rouged. Do you see that texture in there? So when it's cascading around, it adds a nice layer of
looks like it's
almost
rouged.
texture.
Mm-hmm.
So very pretty. Thought this was a lovely shawl. It's I think it was designed with spin cycle and a sport weight yarn. So we've made some kits. This one here.
I don't see a yarn with the thing.
It's the black.
There it is. Is this it?
Not to the right. Light Years is the main color, and we paired that with Viola. It's a nice denim blue, dark denim. And, you know, if you want to picture it, it'll kind of have this vibe. Very pretty.
Mm.
So that's pretty. Then we did this colorway called Brick, and we paired that with Shades of Earth. And I know the colors, like some of the testers use different shades of the same color, and that could also be fun. You can make it like in a gradation.
Oh, right.
That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Love this kit. Ranunculus came in a new dye lot, this last batch that we got. I'm absolutely loving it. It's the most gorgeous pastel. It looks Monet to me. No?
Pretty.
Really Monet. And then we blended that.
It doesn't look as pinky as it used to.
No.
It's got a little more.
It's softer.
More sophistication
yes,
to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
For sure.
And then we paired that with that beautiful blue, and you could see it just pulls out the pinks and the purples.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we did this gorgeous hot pink Levitate with all different shades of purples and greens, and we paired that with black Dahlia. You could see that. That'll be striking. So that's another pretty combination. Next up, we have this beautiful colorway called Toffee, and we paired that with Family Jewels. Classic. You could see the colors running through it. Complements that teal beautifully. And last but not least, we have this beautiful colorway called Purse First, and we paired that with Rosalie. So you'll see that it's a beautiful accent. Yeah, very pretty.
Nice.
So you get the striping and just fun.
And that's the Allusion.
Allusion.
ALL and ILL.
Yes. So we will have all the pattern links down below in the show notes. We'll also have links to the kits on the website. Yeah, for easy access. Okay. Next up, we have. Do we have any other new kits? I'll show the new kits that came in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Sure that, yeah.
So we got new kits in the shop. I'm going to start with the Snoep Shawl. Snoep Shawl is designed by Shimizu. Here it is. Ooh. Let's see if I can make that.
How do you spell Snopes?
Snoep Shawl.
Snoep.
Right.
Snopes.
Snoep.
Not Snopes. Snope.
So this was the original one.
Can't see that.
It's very light. It was done in ivory, and we had mini skeins of the different colors in the chunky. However, Tasha, who is the owner of Handmade Creates, knit one in the Cocon palette. Here it is, in the shades of blue. And I absolutely fell in love with this kit while I was in Germany. And Michelle was kind enough to make kits, and I actually purchased them. So here it is. You want to take them out and show them?
Sure, hold on just a minute.
It's the Snoep Shawl. I'm going to show you a picture of it, maybe on Michelle's. Let's see if I can find it on her page. There it is. And there's Tasha. She looks so pretty. How gorgeous.
Oh, it's very light.
Stunning.
That's why it's not showing up.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but you could definitely see it in the blue. You get the zigzag formation. It's stunning.
So this is the blue.
Yes. So basically you get one skein of this dark, chunky slub mohair, which is that little pinstripe that goes in between the different geometric shapes. You have one skein of the speckled. You have one skein of the Jean-Michel. And then you have a Jean-Michel tie-dye. And this is the color that goes in between all the different wedges.
Let me see that in the dark color.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yeah, you can see the difference. It makes a big difference in that color.
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning. Yeah. So I loved Tasha's iteration. Michelle loved it as well.
Yeah, I like that much better. Yeah.
So those kits came in. I think we have 4 kits left. All the kits are available on the website to purchase. Snoep, S-N-O-E-P, shawl.
I wonder what that means. It must mean something.
I don't know. We'll have to ask.
Maybe it means stripe.
Maybe. Okay. We had these beautiful kits, Overgang. It's designed by Elsbeth Judith. It is a stunning sweater. It was designed in collaboration with Kokon for breast cancer awareness and raising money. You have an off-white sweater. Let me see if I can find, hold on one second, the picture of it. You want to show, tell them what it is?
I don't know what it is. What is it called? What's it called, Dina?
Overgang. It's right here.
Oh.
I was going to say.
Oh, that's the, I didn't know the name of that one.
What fell?
A skein of yarn. We'll pick it up. It's one of the chunky mohairs. Fell. Here it is. Here's a picture of it.
Super pretty. And what makes this sweater, believe it or not, is a variety of fibers.
Right. Like it says, 5 skeins of the natural chunky mohair, which Dina is holding in her hand. Excuse me.
Now, depending on your size, the chunky mohair changes. So for sizes 1, 2, and 3, you need 5 skeins.
Right.
For sizes 4 and 5, you would need 6
skeins, and 6 and 7, you need 7 skeins.
Correct.
And it also has a skein of kid silk, one natural kid silk.
And you can see that's the fine kid silk lace.
A skein of pink kid silk. A skein of Aran tie-dye, so that's a thicker yarn. And one skein of pink fingering speckle.
The speckled pink.
So you've got your fingering,
Aran,
you've got your Aran weight,
your lace weight,
and then your
the chunky
mohair.
It's amazing how she combined all these fibers into one magnificent sweater.
So they could look that up on Ravelry, right?
Yes, it's Overgang. We got it just in time.
Yeah.
Most of the kits were pre-ordered. I only have one small kit and one large.
When you say small, 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3, and I have a 4 or 5 kit. Okay. I bought extra chunky mohair, so if you did want to make a larger size, just notify me, and I will be able to make that.
Is that the only thing they need an extra of?
I believe
the chunky mohair?
Yes.
Yes, 7, 1, 1, 1.
Right.
Yeah, so you could do that too. Mm-hmm. So they could do any size, but what you're limited in is two.
I only have 2 kits.
2 extras.
So it could be any size. Just let me know.
2 extras, right? Okay.
Yes. So
and they're not on the website.
They are.
Oh, they
Overgang is on the website.
But you'd have to leave a note if you needed extra
yarn. Yes.
So just check it out. If you need a 6 or a 7, you might need an extra skein. Size 6 or 7, we're saying, and that's called Overgang.
She got it in just in time before October ended. Love it.
Perfect.
Now, the pre-order. So this order is closed. If I sell through, if you wanted more, just DM me or email me.
We'd have to pre-order it.
I'd have to, right. It would be a pre-order. She has a show in the middle of November, so it might be a bit of time before we get it dyed again.
Well, listen, you saw that in Germany, and you know.
No, this came out in the promotion came out over the summer.
Yeah, but I mean, how soon would she? You're not going to get it in 3 weeks.
No.
So just know
might
that
be a 12 to 14 week or 16 week turnaround time.
Right.
So just it doesn't mean you can't get it. Message me. You just need patience.
There you go.
Okay.
And it is a very patient people, I think.
Next up, because there are so many new things that we received, we have these adorable kits. Mm-hmm. These are Rina. I don't know if we would open it, Pam.
I don't know to see the colors now.
Okay.
I'm not taking it out. I'm just
just opening the bag.
Right,
Okay.
just widening it.
Sorry. You do you. So next up is a kit that's another collaboration with Michelle. It's with PopeVergara. So PopeVergara designed a shawl, which is going to be released on November 15th. It's called the Rina Mini Shawl Kit. I will share a picture of it. Here it is. It's absolutely adorable. She's launching it for the Barcelona Knit Festival.
Is it lace knitting? What is
so
it?
the pattern is not out yet. It looks like patterning and texture and optional beads.
Very pretty.
Of course, we don't have the beads here. So if you wanted to knit with beads, you could. Otherwise, you would follow the pattern without beads.
Is it just one colorway?
No, we have 3 different colorways. This colorway is called Oxidized, and it goes from blue to purples.
Yes.
Like a dusty mauve purple. This colorway is probably the most neutral, I would say. It's called Cress, and the cress goes from like a gold to a gray to a natural, or like a beige. Sorry for the crinkling. These just came in. I did an unboxing this morning, which was a lot of fun. I hadn't done that in a while.
This one is colors like... Well,
that's called copper.
Yeah.
That's the copper colorway, and it goes from copper
clay
to clay and beige. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Very pretty.
Gorgeous. That was the picture that I showed you, and this here is called Cress. And you've got the crest, the silver, and like the beige.
Very pretty. Now, it's not out, you said, the pattern.
No, you'd be getting this before the pattern releases. The pattern is releasing on, I said November 15th.
And who's it by the pattern?
It's by PopeVergara.
Oh, that's right, you said that, yeah.
And I will post her name, probably with a link to her Ravelry page, and you can wait for it. You can also give Kokan and PopeVergara a follow. You can also follow Elsbeth Judith. She designed the overgang sweater.
I think these are all relatively neutral. They're very, I'm not neutral. It's not neutral. It's the wrong word. Soft, very soft colors. So whether you went with the
copper, the crest, or the oxidized, they're all fairly. Yeah. Isn't that gorgeous?
Let me see it. Very pretty. Very pretty.
There it is. Super fun. Okay, so those are new kits.
Yeah. And how many of those do you have? Just one?
They're 5 each.
Oh, five
of every color. Yeah,
nice,
so I did like
pretty.
a nice stock.
Yep.
And again, I can always reorder on both the Snoep shawl, and I can also order on, the Rina. Any kits can be reordered. It's just a matter of time.
Right.
So if this is something that, let's say you wanted for Christmas, it's a good time to hop on and get it. However, if you were waiting for the next delivery, it probably won't happen until we get back after the new year.
Right.
Okay.
What's next?
Next, we are going to show you the restock on the Cloud Hat kits. Or maybe we don't need to show them.
Well, let's show them the Cloud Hat.
We'll show you the Cloud Hat. I do want to say that I posted a video. It's about just over 6 minutes on showing you how to knit the hat.
Because the thing with this hat, if you haven't seen us talk about it before, first of all, this is the hat. It's made out of the Lang Cloud. And Lang Cloud is a great big skein. It's 260 meters. But you can knit this hat with the one skein, obviously, but it's tripled. And the technique Dina put up on her YouTube page is the technique of how you work from the skein without cutting anything. Normally you would think you'd measure it out.
And knit it three
times.
In this particular case, if you were to, let's say you couldn't manage the technique, and that happens, it's fine. You shouldn't beat yourself up. Not every technique is for everyone. The beauty with this technique is that when you knit it, you're getting the stripes as you see the colorway.
If you were to cut it, you wouldn't get that.
If you were to cut it and you were to make 3 separate balls, the whole hat would just be marled, which is another beautiful look with the palette.
Look, right.
It's just a different look.
This keeps the integrity of the stripes.
And
isn't it funny? This looks like down here, like it's like you made a hat and you did a solid ribbon, then you change color.
It's wild,
Doesn't
right?
it look like that? It doesn't mean every hat's going to look like that.
One of my customers finished this one, and she already bought a second one. I shipped it out to her today. I asked her if she had known, did she know how to do the technique from the get-go? And she said no. She watched the video.
Oh, she did.
She watched the video.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known the technique either. I would have had to look it up. I wouldn't know it.
Well, some people, I guess, know it. I don't know.
I would have cut it.
Super fun. Anyway, I think this one is color number 2. So we could show you
color number 2.
So just so you can get an idea, this is color number 2. Super fun.
I love that.
And it has the eggplant or the plum.
And I think I'm wearing color number 8. No,
I think I don't have that one anymore.
I thought this was 8.
No, it's probably closest to this one. Or maybe it is this one. It's color 18.
I don't know. I didn't think maybe she did. I don't know.
This is 18.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, we put a palm with it. We paired a palm with it in the kits. If you don't like the palm, you can certainly buy anything a la carte. You can buy
I could also swap this out and put an eggplant, but I think that's probably, well, there's a lot of light.
There's as we always say, there's a lid for every pot.
There's more ways that you can, right, exactly.
So anyway, what Dina's telling you is we've restocked the colors on the cloud hat.
Right. You might have a chunky yarn at home or something that is a single ply and you want to make it bulkier because looking for a quick knit. Now, watch the video.
They say that this is 13 stitches to 4 inches. But we don't really think it is, do we?
No.
Because when people were making jackets with it, wasn't it doubled?
Doubled.
And they were using like a 10 and a half. Yeah. So I don't know if
It's a very light, lofty yarn. It looks like it has that blown construction with the fiber going through it. It's it feels like nothing.
Yeah, because I'm wearing this, and I would say, if you ask me like a Rasta yarn, this doesn't feel as thick as Rasta.
No, but it's softer.
It's softer than Rasta because of what you were just saying, I think. Yeah, because
it's blown.
So anyway, there you go. I might should make these for the girls. How many hats am I making the girls now?
That would be so cute.
Wouldn't that be cute, though,
yes.
to make them a hat?
So we sold out of a lot of colorways. We just restocked. Some of them, I might have to get again. We might also toy with the, we could do the Lang tweed.
The tweed.
Yep. So stay tuned. We can always do some more. And have fun. Watch the
It'll
video.
Be an ongoing project, hopefully. I think, right?
Yep.
So that's a restock on those hats. What palm? I'll forget it. Never mind. Okay. What's next, Dina?
You tell me.
City Lights, I think, should be next.
So we uploaded hat kits.
It's the City Light year number 5, maybe?
More than that.
This hat continues to be popular.
I mean, we get requests time and time again. It's our City Lights hat. We did this initially for Vogue Knitting Live.
Oh, yeah, that's
more
than 5 years.
I know. That's why I said it's more than that.
About that.
There are so many different flavors, and the beauty with this is that we're always creating new depending on the sparkle, depending on the colorways. So you'll find right now a very good selection. So if this is a hat that speaks to you, of course we have the ivory, the cream,
show them the components of
the black.
Show them the components.
This is a beautiful mustard component. I don't think we've ever had this combo.
Yeah, it's always different.
It always
changes. What's available to us.
Right. Yeah. So we have the mohair. Mm-hmm. You're going to get 2 skeins of a worsted weight yarn. Now this is a beautiful Italian merino. Mm-hmm. Then you have the paillettes.
Oh, I love those paillettes. You love those paillettes.
And then we have a matching palm. So these are the components.
I'm going to bring a few kits over that I just think they have to see.
The new ones, maybe. Yeah. There's so many fun ones. Yeah. Pam and I did this about a week ago. We just, finally were able to get together.
So when Dina and I get together and we start pulling
trouble. It never ends.
Oh, we're only going to make a few.
Do you want to put it on the... okay.
I think that here... Oh, show them this.
Okay.
That's
this
the
is
Tanuki goes in there.
This is a new one. This is a beautiful red. It's a gorgeous red mohair. We have the red merino wool. We have the red sequins. And we have this beautiful pom-pom. Great holiday hat. If you don't want tanuki, you can swap out for black. That's very common. You do you.
Yep.
Gorgeous. Oh, this is a new one. Oh my goodness. This one is so good.
Love this one.
Speaking of holiday hats, this is like, we call this like a Hollywood green. I don't know why, but it's this gorgeous green. We have this beautiful rich green mohair. An insane matching green paillette. And we paired that with the tanuki pom. Now again, if you don't want the tanuki pom, you can go to black. Any color you want. If you want silver, light gray. Not silver, metallic, but like a light gray. We could do that too.
You could do that as well.
Yeah, very pretty. So that is the beautiful green. Love that one.
Together while we have it. There you go. Thank you.
Should we show any more?
I've got them right. Oh, you have to show these. These you have to show. Just these over here.
Okay.
This.
We're excited about our new ones. Okay, then we have a raspberry option. This raspberry is a beautiful raspberry from, what is it? Santa's Garden. We have the matching mohair. We top this with this iridescent, well, we paired it with an iridescent, can you see the multicolor sequence?
It's gorgeous.
And then we paired that with the black palm. Oh, that is just stunning.
That is beautiful.
In every little girl's dream.
Yep.
Then we have the jelly bean green with the jelly bean mohair. And we actually paired this with the gold this time, not a silver. And then we put that with the tanuki palm. And don't forget, this is just going to be a thin strand, this gold, that blends in with the hat. It really just kind of blends right in. So it adds a little bit of shimmer, and because of the gold sequence, we went with the tanuki pom-pom. This one is electric. This one sold out last year. We got it back. This orange, it's everything. Orange mohair, orange sequins. Sorry, Pam. And oh my Lord.
Love that.
That tanuki pom.
Love. So anyway, these are some pop colors. We have cream.
Basic, black, silver,
navy,
gray.
powder pink. We have a fuchsia pink.
All the usual ones. These just happen to be the new.
Right, black. Did you say black?
Yes, black.
Put it on, Dana.
These are like the more edgy ones, the new fun ones.
So we're not going to show you all of them. They roll up on the website.
It's a nice cozy hat.
Yep.
Generous in size. This happens to be a faux fur pom-pom. This one is the pom-pom from Love-A-Fur.
But the ones that we have on these kits are
the kits all include a real,
A real pom.
A real tanuki pom-pom. And if you are interested in the faux pom-pom, by all means, if I can, I will swap it out for you. Just leave a note.
There you go.
Alrighty. This is a free pattern with purchase. The cloud hat, a free pattern with purchase. I actually typed it out. The video is free. Everything is free. Now we have some things from Pam.
And Dina.
Oh, there's one more.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Do you want to finish off?
What do you want to do? What?
Let's do yours.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can do that. I have to. Well, I'll do that afterwards. Let me just do this first. Dina and I. So we're gonna.
So we talked about sharing our own patterns, and Pam has some amazing patterns.
Oh, that's on the table.
I'll go get it.
No. So I get it. I know where it is. It's under stuff. I know where it is.
The cozy.
Yes, it is. I saw it on. Doing things.
Over the weekend, I started with. No, that's not it.
That was yours. I saw that.
Yes, it's behind you, right there.
Oh, thank you, Dina.
You're welcome. So Pam has some amazing hats. We are going to share some of those with you as well.
Okay. This one was last year's hat. It was called the Cozy Bliss. Oh, look at this. I never wove the ends in.
Fabulous hat. Look at how great.
There you go. And this is made with flet bulky.
Yes.
And Tove.
Correct. Tove Aran.
Tove Aran. And I believe the Tove is doubled. This is not doubled, though.
But it's a fold-over brim, which is why you have that double thickness.
Correct.
So it's a super cozy.
But it's not. It's folded. But
Can you imagine that hat?
It's knit. It's knit down. No, it's actually I sewed it down. It's sewn down. So this is not something you can uncuff.
No.
Right. So anyway, so there you go. And so we made sure that the website was stocked. We have cream, we have black, we have olive, we have gold.
Let me show you the components.
We have, I call it raisin, gray, I think silver. So there, it's a lovely hat. It's fun to make. It's knit on a larger needle. I think this part was on an 8, and this was maybe on a 10.5. I'm sorry, Dina. Thank you. Here's the black, 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 black. How pretty is that? Right? This is the gray. This is the camel. Basic colors that really go with anything. You're not going to get any hot pinks in this. Right? This is my colorway, the cream. Now, in this cream, did they discontinue the cream last year? Is that what it was, Dina? Didn't they just...
No, the black.
The black. Well, and we weren't able to get the cream taupe, so we paired this one with the Simply Worsted, which is the same... I forgot that hat. Do I have that hat with me? I have it. I think I have it. Okay. There you go. And that's that.
We happen to have the black in stock. I have to say thank you to Aviva from Willie & Co. because when they discontinued the black, we were in a panic.
Some, right?
And she had some. And she was so gracious.
Which one was which, Dina? Was it in here?
It was in there. She was so selfless. She wanted Pam to succeed, and she sent us the black yarn. So thank you, Aviva. A shout out to Aviva. Thank you. So we have restocked the Cozy Bliss hat kits. The pattern is designed by Pam, and you can find that on Ravelry. Really?
I thought everything was in this. Maybe it's here today.
Maybe it's here. I'll look for it while you show the next one.
Everything in the bag.
That's okay.
I'm not sure.
Do you want to talk about this one?
I'll talk about that one next.
Do you know where
they were? I'll get it, Dina. They were in the thing. They're okay. I think.
You're not used to sitting and I hand you the yarn.
No, I'm not. This was called Take Two. What's it called? Bucket Hat Take. Isn't that terrible? Bucket Hat Take Two. It's the first one I did, and it is also made out of flet and isn't it flet and taupe? Isn't that terrible? Yeah, flet and taupe DK held together. And again, it's on, it's not on a small needle, a larger needle, and it's a bucket hat, which is so popular nowadays, right? Who doesn't love a bucket hat? If you wanted to, you could cuff it, you could put it down and up, you could put it down.
So adorable, Pam.
And you could do whatever you want with it. And again, this is my colorway, a brick colorway. Comes in gold. I love that gold. And of course, Woolfolk has those great traditional colors, right? The basic colors. Dina's coming with black and cream. Again, lovely. And a silver gray and a darker gray, medium gray. And do we have an olive? Oh, olive. I love olive. Who doesn't love the olive?
That's a great color.
Love olive. And this is, I call this color mineral. It's like I call this raisin, actually. It's like a purpley brown or something. Love that colorway. That's my nail polish color usually. Right, Dina?
Yeah.
And again, it's the Bucket Hat Take Two. This pattern and the Cozy Bliss pattern are on Ravelry. Maybe you got the pattern last year and you want to make another one this year. It's a great gift because it's a fairly quick knit. I mean, a hat is not a big deal anyway, even if it was a thinner yarn, but you're on, a larger needle, so it does go fairly quickly. And the baby sister pattern for this is we took that hat and made, now I have to look this up, Dina. Was this a separate pattern? Or was this part of the, I should know the answer to that, but I made this for Lucy. I should bring this with me when I go see them, Dina.
You should.
And I'll show you them wearing it. when Dina comes back. I'll go on my phone and I'll pull a picture up. And this was used with a yarn. Dina's got it. What do you call that? Is it like
Blossom? It's a chenille.
It's like
a chenille, but
it's like butter.
It has, it's so soft. The kids love this yarn.
Yeah.
Super cute. So they're in the hat kits.
And there's a black colorway. There's the color Dina just showed you. I think there's a red. There's that khaki color. And I don't know. It's on the website. You can see that. And I will look that up to see if that's, I think that's I don't know, is it a separate pattern or part of this pattern? I'll let you know in a minute. And that is the hat. Now, I can't believe I don't have that other hat with me. That's such a cute hat. I do have the pattern somewhere, which I could look, and it was called, what was that one called? I'm like the worst. Fuzzy Wuzzy. Love Fuzzy Wuzzy. I should remember that because it's Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear, right?
Yes.
I'll show that. You got Fuzzy Wuzzy? Oh, love that hat. Where is it? You looked on the shelf over there?
I did.
It's not there?
This is a bucket hat using a yarn called Alpine. It is super cute. It's, Pam, you look so cute wearing it. The yarn is in the cubby. Right there.
Back behind you. Oh, over here. Yep.
So we have some kits. It's called Fuzzy Wuzzy, the pattern that you want to download on Ravelry. Fuzzy Wuzzy bucket hat, also designed by Pam. And it's just super cute. I think it takes 2 skeins. 2? Yep. 2 skeins of Alpine.
This colorway is called nothing.
Lynx?
I said it doesn't say on there.
I think it's Lynx.
This is like a camel tipped with white. Very pretty. And then we have this color, I believe, is called Fawn. And it's kind of a taupey color, right? I would think. A light taupe. It's like a gray beige. That's very pretty. I'm
going to interrupt. Here's Lucy wearing the bucket hat in the blossom.
Now,
yes.
What's that called?
It's bucket hat take 2. You have both patterns.
So
you have both options in one. You have the adult in the Wool Folk flat, and you have the kids version in the blossom.
And this shade is called Midnight. Midnight, although it may appear to be a black white tipped, it is a dark blue white tipped. Very pretty.
That would go with a black coat easily.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah. And then there's one more colorway that we have, and this way is it's like a rich...
There's so much yarn on the table.
a burgundy, Bordeaux.
You'll see all the color choices online.
Mm-hmm.
They are lots of choices, but most importantly, you can find all of Pam's designs on Ravelry under Pam Sapienza Designs.
And that's that. Thank you, Dina.
You're very welcome. I forgot there's one more. Should we do this one?
Yes, we have to do that. Let me move this out of the way.
Okay.
Where did this come from?
Last but not least, we have the UU beanie. This is a beanie that I had written the instructions for. I think this pattern actually is on Ravelry.
It is.
It's not a free pattern with purchase. I have a small head, so on me it's a very slouchy hat, but you can certainly cuff it. I like it like this with the wide brim, but you can certainly, now this is just so you have an idea, this is a double strand of yarn for the border, so it's really nice and warm on the ears. But if you wanted to, you can also cuff it and break it down more like a beanie.
Right.
And then you have the yarn in here is a flat DK. So we have kits for this hat.
Yes.
I'm roasting right now. I'm taking the hat off. I have like beads of sweat all over me.
It will keep you warm for sure.
Yes. It's done in Wool Folk, so we have lots of options. We're not going to show you all of them.
Oh, well, then I'll bring the other ones here. Go ahead.
But this one here is this beautiful silver, and it's paired with one of their snow options. And as you can see, the snow is actually a 2-ply These are very similar in color. So you're getting, this is the brim and this is the body of the hat. So you'll get slight two-tone, but very pretty. That's, I think we called that silver. This one here is a medium gray. Gorgeous for all you gray lovers. We have the black and the ivory, very metropolitan. Love this deep Cabernet. Pam calls this like a dark chocolate. I feel like it's a really dark,
a dark raisin.
Raisin, Merlot.
It could be a Merlot. It could be a dark
cocoa.
Cocoa, yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It's a great color.
Very in color right now. I think we call it the sea spray. It's got like a tealy tinge. Color. Yeah, very pretty. And if you've never worked with wool folk, it feels like cashmere.
It does.
But it's not the price of cashmere. This is a beautiful gold. We have this copper.
And remember, there's always the ivory and the black.
The ivory and the black. There's the camel.
There's a deep charcoal that is just lovely.
As you can see here, this camel one has the marled version for the brim. So that adds a nice interest. And then there's this colorway, which is color number 18. I forget what we called it. Maybe like a light mauve.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So this is the UU beanie. EWE beanie.
And again, you can wear it straight. You can wear it cuffed. It looks lovely both ways.
I don't have my clip today.
You don't know. That's why you're hot. And this is it without cuffing
it. It looks so good on you, Pam.
So you can wear it without. I love this one.
Love that hat.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's it. So remember, you're doubling both, right?
Does that match my Tursa?
I think it does.
Just when
let's see.
Imagine you get away with it.
Of course you could.
Oh my goodness! And my white one, I have two.
There's your outfit.
One in ivory and one in this color.
But now you're doubling this.
Yes.
And I know you're doubling this.
Yes.
So double, but it's one skein of each.
Yep.
And there you go.
So those are our hat kits. I don't know.
Those are some of the patterns, right? There are more, but we'll just start with that.
Yeah.
For now.
I think we showed you a lot
too from having that on.
A lot of stuff on the website today.
Anyway, is that it? Is there any FOs in the shop or no?
No,
okay.
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
My announcement, I told you that I'm closed on Wednesdays now, open again on Fridays. So the shop hours are Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 12:30 to 3:30. All the links will be up in the show notes. And
that's what we got. Oh, again, if you're interested in any of our Zooms.
Oh, we have our Zooms.
We have two classes
tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow. And again, it's not something you have to see live. You could always decide you want to do a Zoom. They're pre-recorded.
I have to tell you, Michelle called today. She's working on the Jethro. And she said, I just have to tell you, having these pre-recorded Zooms on Facebook are wonderful.
Yeah.
And she said that, she's just sitting down and getting to finish her Jethro now.
Right.
And she just found it so wonderful that, she might, she's at that point now and she's just there and she wants to watch the video and she watches it. Yeah. And, she can pause and play. And it's just, she found it very handy. And it was
it's
nice
always
to hear
there.
that.
So it's not, I think people are surprised because they'll say to us sometimes, I'm just getting to, say, the garden cardi right now, but it's always up there. You always have access to it.
Right.
You just have to, sign up for the class. And so, needless to say, Dina and I, we're starting it tomorrow. This podcast will probably just go up tomorrow. But we're doing the Lin Shawl from... Who's this?
Yoko Johnston.
Thank you. And the...
brioche starter hat.
Right. Plain brioche hat, if you've never done brioche.
2-color brioche. So we're excited to teach that.
Correct.
And I will say... Just going back to Jethro, I got an email from Suzanne. I'm not going to call out everyone's last names, but thank you, Suzanne.
Someone who made it.
Okay. I think she was inquiring. She said she asked us what our point of view was.
Oh, which one was more
heirloom versus Jethro? Which one was harder,
too.
Or which one is more difficult? These are both projects that you're really going to sink your teeth into. Are you a crocheter? Are you a knitter?
I would
the
say
Jethro involves both.
Right.
Depending on whether or not you sew the squares together. I feel like if you're a crocheter, I think Jethro might be easier. I think that for many, with heirloom, you're doing the color work on the wrong side, and I think that's where people.
And I will say, in full disclosure, when I started the heirloom, I had to make the square a couple of times to get used
until
to it.
you get to the right tension.
Get used to it, to the right tension.
Even with the crocheting,
technique,
but it's quicker to crochet the square.
It's quicker to crochet the square. Yeah. So, and for me, from that standpoint, the crochet was easier. But it is a project when you take it on because you're making the squares, you're joining them, whether you crochet them or sew them, and then you're doing your ribbings and your
the rest of the assembly is pretty much identical.
Right. But again, everything is easy, but when you take everything and put it together as a whole,
it's you're sinking your teeth into a project.
To weave in and things like that. But
people ask me about the Tursa. You're sinking your teeth into this one. It's all mosaic knitting, which is really easy.
Yeah.
But it's a project. Yeah, it's not something that you're just going to whip through.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But once you have it, you have it.
Yes. I can't believe it.
Dinah's got her winter coat now, as we've said.
I actually used it this weekend. It was nice.
Of course.
It was a bit of a chill in the city. It's perfect.
I know you can start pulling those knitwears out, but you got to be careful. It depends. This time of year is a little more difficult because in the morning it's cold, but then like by 1 o'clock you don't need it. You don't need something that you're wearing. Maybe.
I mean, I definitely it was nice. I was definitely layered, but it's just a nice time of year to bring out.
Of course, yeah.
It's really the beginning of sweater weather.
Yeah, which is fun. Hats, scarves, whatever, cowls. It's fun.
Layering up.
So you've got a lot to consider. There are a lot of hats,
a lot of options, lots of new sweaters, shawls, kits. Oof, we got a lot.
I know. There are so many nice things to make.
Thank you for joining us. I feel like I want to end with a question.
What question do you want to end with?
I don't know. Just something to engage with you all because it's so
question?
Fun. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a life question. I mean, we certainly asked about do you have any any tips about how I should address my family with the issues?
Oh, well, you could do that.
Do you wake up at 5 a.m. to get your knitting done?
If I woke up at 5 a.m., I'd be knitting. See, I could wake up at 5 a.m., but then I'd probably be tired later on.
Yeah, I mean,
because I'm tired right now. At night?
I'm tired. Well, last night I went to bed at 10, and I went to bed at 10.
You woke up at 5?
I woke up at 5, but I fell back asleep until 8.
See, I would never get that. Oh, my God. You got 10 hours of sleep?
Is that crazy?
I'm lucky if I sleep.
I was so exhausted.
Lucky if I sleep 6 hours a night.
I don't know. I need my sleep.
But everyone's different, Yeah, what are you going to do? It's the way it is.
What should we ask?
What do you want to ask?
How about you ask us something? Let's turn the tables around. How about you guys? Do you have a question for us?
You can ask a question. Anything. Ask anything you want.
We're
an open book. Not very
we reserve
interesting.
the right. Please, Eris. Did I tell you what Alice wants for his birthday?
No.
So we're throwing him a party, and he wants
is that because he's going to be 60?
Yes.
He wants a roast.
A roast. And he wants everybody to roast him. He's so funny with this party. So I'm off limits. Friends are not allowed to roast the wife or the kids. He's like, you guys didn't ask to be roasted. I did.
Yeah, they shouldn't roast you.
Right.
It's all about the person.
Who was it that some football player?
Yeah.
There was a roast, I don't know, on television. Mm-hmm. My husband's like, you got to watch this roast because I don't know how to roast.
Right. Well, think of Don Rickles. Do you remember Don Rickles?
Yes.
If you go on YouTube, I'm sure you can. They used to do roasts all the time.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Just Google it. It's funny you talk about the word roast. This morning, I got to school. I was on the blacktop when the kids are getting there. And one of the kids says something. And he said the word roast. And I said to the other guy, I said, what did he say? He said, oh, he's roasting him. Or it's a roast, something like that. And what it means,
it a gentle
how it's a new word that they're using, which means no. It's like, what a roast is when you you make fun of somebody.
Right, you
say
poke fun. But there's two kinds of roasting. I mean, you could be obnoxious.
Well, yeah,
or you
of
could
course.
be in jest.
But it's supposed to be in comedy. It's supposed to be fun, but it is based in fact or truth. Maybe an exaggeration.
Yes, an exaggeration of the
that's
truth.
what makes it so funny.
Right.
You know, but
you can't imagine the things I'm making a list right now of like topics, and then I have to write the roast.
There you go. So the kid must have said something. This one kid said something about the other kid like it was a roast, saying, "Oh, you're whatever it was that he was." But listen, only kids could come up with that. Where do they get these terms? It's
these
a roast.
New terms.
It's a roast.
But what was
he
the
roasted me. I don't remember exactly what he said, but the kid said something about the other kid that was probably an
exchange
of something he does.
That's so funny.
Whatever, listen to kids. What are you going to do? What do they say out of the mouths of babes? Right?
Too funny. All right. So anyway, ask us a question. Hopefully, we'll be comfortable enough to answer.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, everyone. Until next week. Thanks for joining us.
Happy knitting.
Bye.
So.